So back in 2013, a shipment of bananas arrived at the port of Rotterdam, one of the busiest shipping hubs in Europe. As usual, customs officials scanned the container for safety. Everything seemed routine, until it wasn't. Suddenly, the radiation detectors went off, a loud alarm blared, security tightened. Radiation at a food port is never taken lightly. Officials swarmed in, workers were pulled away, the container was isolated, the Geiger counters were ticking. Not like a sci-fi movie level, but enough to raise eyebrows. But when they opened the container, they didn't find nuclear waste or anything dangerous. They found bananas, just bananas. Believe it or not, this kind of thing has happened more than once. Radiation detectors at ports, airports, and even border checkpoints are designed to be extremely sensitive, and sometimes they pick up something completely natural. Bananas are famously high in potassium, a mineral your body needs for your muscles, nerves, and heart to function. But here's the twist. A very tiny part of that potassium, about 0.012%, is a naturally radioactive form called potassium-40. That's right, it gives off radiation. So when bananas are packed tightly together in a shipment, the collective radiation from all that potassium can set off detectors meant to catch smuggled radioactive materials. It's not dangerous, just unexpected. So, how much radiation are we talking about? When it comes to the radiation in bananas, the amount is extremely tiny. Nothing to worry about. Eating one banana exposes you to about 0.1 microsieverts of radiation, which is a very small dose. To put it in perspective, a chest X-ray gives you the same amount of radiation as eating about 100 bananas, while a flight from New York to London equals around 400 bananas worth. Even living near a nuclear power plant for an entire year only adds up to the radiation you'd get from eating fewer than 1,000 bananas. So unless you're somehow planning to eat 10 million bananas at once, which would actually be deadly due to potassium overdose long before radiation became an issue, there's absolutely no danger. In fact, your body needs potassium to function, and it naturally keeps the right balance by using what it needs and flushing out the rest. In fact, scientists even came up with a funny way to explain small amounts of radiation, the banana equivalent dose. It's not a unit you'll see in medical reports, but it's a great way to explain radiation to the public. Bananas aren't the only food that's naturally radioactive. In fact, many everyday foods contain tiny traces of radiation. This is completely normal and happens because of naturally occurring elements in the environment. For example, Brazil nuts are actually much more radioactive than bananas, thanks to how their roots absorb minerals from deep underground. Other foods like potatoes, carrots, avocados, beans, red meat, and even tap water can contain small amounts of radiation too. This is because radiation is all around us, in the soil, the air, the water, and even inside our own bodies. It's just a natural part of living on planet Earth, and in such small amounts, it's nothing to worry about. In fact, we are radioactive too. Our body contains potassium and carbon and other elements that have radioactive isotopes. We are constantly giving off tiny bits of radiation, roughly 4,000 particles per second. It sounds wild, but it's perfectly normal.